Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Nadi from Lightwork 2332. I'm here to bring you another Twin Flame, Divine Love, Ascended, interdimensional, divine unconditional love reading. Sorry, that was long and repetitive. But there's been a lot going on in the collective. I feel like this reading is really needed this week. I've been, as I said in my last video, if you watched it, if not, go back and read it. I kind of explained what's been going on in my journey recently, and in part of the groups that I'm part of on Facebook, there has been a lot of talk about twins, going into separation all of a sudden, no communication, a lot of purging, and when I said that, I felt the release. We're releasing at this time. And it knocked it knocked the wind out of us maybe for a few days, or caused us to purge, and then ultimately, we're all feeling better now, or a lot of us are feeling better, reconnected to the 5D truth of things, and who've connected to the angels. Like the angels have been around me like really, really strongly for the past 2 weeks. Yesterday I did this Reiki healing, and she's like angel therapy certified. She's really amazing lady here in Florida, and the angels are around, the ascended masters are around. Those of us who have awakened, we're here for a purpose. There's a lot of heart healing going on, a lot of lower chakra activity, and healing as well. The masculines, a lot of them have gone inward. If you and your masculine have gone into separation abruptly, or just understand this was divine intervention. A lot of them were kind of very comfortable where they were, kind of avoiding a lot of things, part of the journey, spirituality, just life. And sometimes us as feminines, we want to, try to awaken our masculines or kind of guide them. And it does work, but at some point, if they're being resistant, they're going to continue to be resistant, and it's going to cause a fork in the road. So we have to allow them. And this is why so many readers at this time are saying let go, let go, let go. It's not let go of the journey. You cannot let go of the journey. You were selected for this journey for a reason, and whether you come into physical union or not, this connection goes beyond the physical realms, just like our spirituality goes beyond the physical realm, just like our ascension goes beyond the physical realm, and it's all a reflection, right? So if that's happened to you, and you thought you were in the first wave, now you feel like you're in the second, don't worry about waves, don't worry about timing. You have the power to shift, to manifest whatever it is that you want. Right now is a good time to have any green stones around, heart healing stones. This is fluorite, green fluorite. I have this, if you guys follow Wing and Bell on Instagram, they make organites. This is an Archangel Raphael one. It's beautiful, I love it. I also have some malachite here, which is a healing and transformative stone. We're going through transformation. If this is happening in your union and you felt like you were close to, engagement or higher levels of commitment, just understand that this is meant to propel us forward. Whether that means, and don't be triggered by this, trigger warning, whether that means, going, experiencing certain things in the 3D that are going to help you heal, whether that means, karmic cycles, relationships, soul tribe, mission, whatever that may be, right? It just means that you have to go through those things before you come into union, because both of you need the time to heal. Okay, so with that said, I'm very prompted to use the Akashic Tarot today. As soon as I started thinking about doing this reading, it came to mind. So clearly there's a message here regarding the Akashic, regarding past lives, regarding, the greater purpose of this journey. And I will say, I do like to read from the book in this one, because it has some very specific messages, okay? So again, I set the intention. I do this reading in the name of unconditional love. I call in my guides, 5D and above, the angels, archangels, source, of course, spirits, ascended masters, ascended master twins. We call on you now to help us. Also, Isis has definitely been around because she wants the feminine to be empowered, to remember where their power lies. We need to go into the 5D. I've felt my masculine very strong in the 5D ever since our communication has lessened in the 3D. I feel him and his energy very much. Also, if you're like me and you're an empath, then just make sure that you're shielding your energy from other people, even your masculine sometimes, because they need to find their own light, and I'm thinking of that Hermit card right now at the moment. So I'm going to take pull 3 cards from the Akashic Tarot. What do you want us to know at this time? It's funny because last time I did that, I did this with this deck. This Two of Keys came out as well, which was, if you guys recall, looking in the physical for some validation of the journey. And, you know, the validation is not in the physical. And look at the moon here. It's nighttime, you know, it's a time of illusion. This is illusion, you know. Stop focusing on the outer world and focus on the light that's trying to come in the darkness, because that's where your ascension comes from. That's how you ascend. You know, you have to find your light regardless of what's happening, right? A little bit of a mess in the 3D, but you know, it feels that way. But there is, of course, a purpose to everything. And so bottom of the deck, I just want to show you guys before we go into these Akashic messages. Wishes fulfilled, 5 of Keys. And I've been getting this message a lot. We need to trust, like don't be disillusioned. Even if things have suddenly crashed and burned, you feel like sometimes things need to burn to rise again, you know, the phoenix rising. So as a theme for this Akashic tarot reading, wishes fulfilled, 5 of Keys. And look at that, what more could you want? The water, the views, the food, the home. I love it. And I'm getting, it's funny because I follow Guided by Angels, and I would never ever before read into, like, for example, if you feel like gassy energy while you're reading, but really the physical body is just an indication of the channeling, right? So there is some release. I feel the releasing. There is some need for release. If you're releasing at the moment, just understand that this is part of the journey. It's meant to happen, and just keep having faith, keep trusting. And it doesn't mean it's going to delay things. It just means that maybe this is the push that your connection needed, or that you needed to go on mission and to refocus on yourselves, feminine. Like, this is a time to focus on your mission and on yourselves and on moving forward and embodying the change that you want in your life, right? So I'm going to read real quick what this wishes fulfilled mean as a theme. So it says, the scene is a bright and full storeroom, a larder for a sizable and successful estate. Inside are keys and coins, wines and spices. Also within the room are a number of baskets filled with bounty of fruits, vegetables, breads, flour, sugars, and grains. Even the windows look out at the expanse of the world. The card is a sign that the time has come for your wishes to be fulfilled and your dreams to be realized. Difficulties may have challenged you for a time, but even in these, victory is assured. I was just saying that. Wow. There is an abundance of sweet nourishment and acquired lands coming. The keys to the castle are yours. Celebrate. I love it. I love it. So what a great message to start this Twin Flame Divine Love reading. You know, your wishes are being fulfilled, and this is all part of the process. So the first card that came out was in the situation position, was up in the air reversed, right? So let's see what this card, it's an 18 card. I'm pretty sure that reversed, it has a better meaning, because up in the air kind of means that you don't know what's going on. The energy hasn't gone one way or the other, but reversed has the opposite effect. So a situation that has been up in the air has come down to earth. There's still maybe some unknown elements, but you can intuitively and actually see everything much more clearly now. More than that, you can finally enter the picture and bring more influence to bear in some way. Soon you can participate in the highest capacity. The trust that you held in the situation before has borne much fruit. Now you can understand the situation more fully and act on it more purposefully. Right, so again, whatever tower moments or purging or situations happens in the physical, wherever you are on this journey, it's bringing everything to fruition, and it's showing you what needed to be released and what needed to be ended in order to start again, right? It's no longer up in the air. A decision has been made. The energy is shifting, helping you move towards your wishes fulfilled, right? So again, the Two of Keys was in the action space. It was a treasure. Stop looking in the physical world for validation, for something to make you happy. You know, that is an illusion. The night and the moon there. It's turn around and look at the light behind you. In this purging, in this mess, you have shifted the energy. This is no longer up in the air. Now you're both forced, or not forced, but you're both compelled to look within, right, for the answers, so that you can get your wishes. And this is going to bring in your wishes, you know, what you wanted, what you've been working towards, right? I'm just going to look at this card just in case I didn't miss anything, because these cards are very, very expansive, and I don't want to miss a message that may resonate with someone out there. I'm sure you can hear my voice. My energy is much better from last week. Again, the purging really helps me, really helped me see things and trust in the journey again. I hope that this message today is activating that within you as well. So a man looks dejectedly at a small smashed treasure chest in a room that obviously has been robbed and plundered. Behind him, a stream of light shines from below the lid of an unbroken chest that rests on a small table, the only piece of furniture in the room that hasn't been touched. Right, that light. Don't let the light waver. You know, it doesn't matter what's going on in the physical. Just remember the light. Remember that is the purpose of the journey, is finding the light within, and the light in everything for that matter. So this card represents a great loss or disappointment in your life right now. It could be the loss of a job, a relationship, or even an opportunity. But remember that this phase is temporary. It might take some time and effort to rally your forces to recover, but there's a great treasure within you that is always available. The little chest represents that part of you that is filled with light. It isn't vulnerable. It isn't vulnerable and can never be lost or damaged. When you focus on what's wrong or what's lacking, it perpetuates your sense of emptiness and victimization. So don't let yourself get lost in your loss. Open the lid to your light and let it illuminate your way. These are opportunities and greater wealth waiting for you to discover. Right. Again, there is wishes fulfilled and a treasure here to be uncovered. Even if it looks backwards in the 3D, it's not backwards. It's exactly as it should be. You're shifting the energy. There was a lot of uncertainty before about where this was going, about whether the masculines were truly awakening and moving forward and ascending. And you know, this is a time, everyone, whether you're masculine or feminine, and this is the feminine that we're talking about for you, things are no longer up in the air. Connect to your light, okay? Because this is a reflection. They are a divine mirror, and this is a reflection. This is showing you something within yourself and within the connection that needed to be addressed, okay? And it had to do with stop focusing on the 3D and focus on the greater purpose of this journey, right? Because your wishes are being fulfilled and you have shifted the energy. And although this is a great loss and it was meant to reflect something to you, whether it was nice or not nice, there's a greater purpose for this, right? And if you're an ascended being and you're here on the twin flame journey, you know that this path can be difficult sometimes, but it's a great reward in so many ways, right? And I'm sorry if I'm speaking fast, but I start channeling and the energy is like, whew. So let me take a breath. I'm gonna take a sip of the coffee here. That was intense, but amazing. Reflection. So yeah, I caught the full moon here. It's funny because I believe that the full moon, this is in the outcome position. So this is very interesting, guys. I'm getting this now. I believe the full moon is on the 19th of this week, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I believe it's Thursday. So because today's the 14th, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a full moon in this card and it's reflecting on the water, and this is a 19 card, and this is in the outcome position. So guys, pay attention to this message that's coming now. So a full moon shines brightly over a quiet lake as a small ship glides gently through the water. The glow of the ship's lantern is reflected on the lake's surface along with the moonlight from above. This card can sometimes show a trip, particularly a trip over or by water. More important, it can reveal that you now have a direct line to your psychic gifts. You are also more aware of your emotions and more reflective about them. You recognize the differences between your intuitive voice, which is calm and assured, and your lower emotional compulsions, which are urgent and sometimes fear-based. Let yourself gain even greater clarity and control over your emotions now. This would be a great time for you to take classes in meditation, psychic development, counseling, healing, and other psychological and spiritual arts if you have such an interest. Your yin side is wide open and your receptivity is high. Trust your inner voice and you'll be guided to greatness. Yes, I love it. So, again, before we move on from the Akashic Tarot, which is, you know, the Akash, it's very important on this journey of twins who we've had many lives and who we have many lessons to learn and to overcome. Your wishes are being fulfilled. This is the long-term theme, right? Things were up in the air before in the connection. There was some uncertainty. We have now shifted that energy, whether it created a feeling of loss in the physical. In order for us to connect separately and together, because technically we're never separate, to the light, and to reflect to us what needs to be worked on, and also to connect to our feminine, right? And when I said in the beginning of this reading, the masculines at this time are going within. that is them connecting. And look, I'm releasing again. I feel that burpee energy, because there is a release during the full moon, right? If emotions come up, if it's a rough time now to the full moon a couple days after, just understand on the 19th that it's time to connect to the higher. Meditate, go within, understand the greater purpose of this, because everything is happening according to the divine planet. And I just want to say something, because I have other divine feminines in my life, and one in particular that I've had a friendship with her for over 15 years. We were speaking about this. We had a kind of like a channeled conversation, because we do this often, about the masculines being on this boat and us being the lighthouse, and how so many times before we wanted to run on shore and like wave our light and be like, hey, come, we're here, get to the shore, come home, you know. But the lighthouse is spirit, and we can wait in the lighthouse because we are the light and they do see us as the light, but we cannot force them to come in any faster than they're meant to, you know, because they are learning some lifetime and past life lessons at this time, okay? But there is change coming. I saw 555 on the clock. So there is change coming. Understanding these shifts are for a greater good. Trust. And try not to get too caught up in what's happening in the 3D. So to continue on that note, I'm going to go to the Osho Zen Tarot. And if you guys know me, you know that this is the way that I connect to the 5D, through the Osho Zen Tarot. These cards, again, are a little bit extensive in their explanations, and so I like to connect to them through the book if I feel compelled to, even though they tell a pretty good story. So, you know, what's happening, I want to connect now to the divine masculine higher selves for the collective, and the divine feminine, because in the 5D, most of us are, I mean, if not all, I would say all, we are in union in the 5D, and or we're very connected in the 5D. And so what messages do our higher selves have for us at this time, right? From the 5D, from that higher perspective. What's going on that we can't see at the moment from the higher perspective? Oh my God, that card came up last week. Which is interesting. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, kind of same message from the Akashic Tarot, and I just got chills, right? So we got the receptivity card as the theme. And again, this is that yin energy, right? See here the crown chakra represented as a lotus. We need to be receptive of what's coming in. We're getting downloads. We're in this very raw state in the 5D, where we're just receiving all these upgrades and all these downloads that are relevant to our journey, right? Both masculine and feminine, even though this does look like a feminine, because as you know, the yin energy is feminine. I mean, the yang energy is feminine. No, I'm sorry, the yin, I was right. Sorry, guys. So yes, the yin energy is very feminine. And you see the Kundalini here, you know, we're getting downloads, you know, surrender. And what I'm getting very clearly with these hands up here is we need to surrender. We need to be in receipt mode to be able to receive these downloads and receive these understandings. Because there is a lot going on at the moment, and it can be overwhelming, and a lot of us need to rest and recoup, okay? So with the cards that came out in the spreads, in the 3 cards that I pulled, we got 10 of Pentacles. We are the world, right? Again, this journey is for the greater good of the planet. It's not just for us and some physical relationship. This is about a greater mission to humanity, right? And a lot of us are up there in the 5D having a party, watching us and understanding that this is all happening for a reason, right? So just understand, situation is, you know, divine love on the planet, ascension, right? For the action, we got new vision, right? And if I'm not mistaken, this card is the Hanged Man, which is looking at things through a different perspective, right? So the situation at hand and what our higher selves are trying to tell us is whatever is happening in the 3D, we really need to stay receptive, okay, to what's happening, to the greater understanding of all that is. We need to understand that we are collectively going through shifts. We're helping each other move along. We're helping each other, you know, our higher self is helping us in the lower. And that it's all because we need to look at things from a different perspective, okay? And I understand how that can be hard when things cause us pain. But if anything is bringing up pain for you, and it did for me at first, the pain is the attachment. You know, it's the codependency on the relationship. It's not love. Unconditional love doesn't bring pain, okay? And you just need to understand this so that you can move forward, you know? Release from the attachment, release from the outcome, and just launch yourself forward, right? So I'm just going to read a little bit about what this card means in this deck. So it says, when you open up to the ultimate, immediately it pours onto you. And it's very similar to the receptivity card, right? You are no longer the ordinary human being. You have transcended. Your insight has become the insight of the whole existence. Again, 10 of Pentacles, we are the world card, right? You have found your roots. Otherwise, ordinarily, everybody is moving without roots, not knowing from where their heart goes on receiving energy, not knowing who goes on breathing in them, and not knowing the life juice that is running inside them. It is not the body, it is not the mind, it is something transcendent to all duality that is called Bhavagat. The Bhavagat in the 10 directions. Your inner being, when it opens, first experiences 2 directions, the height and the depth. And then slowly, as this becomes your established situation, you start looking around, spreading into other 8 directions. And once you have attained to the point where your height and your depth meets, then you can look around to the very circumference of the universe. Then your consciousness starts unfolding in all 10 directions, but the road has been won. So the figure in this card has been born anew, emerging from this earthbound roots and growing wings to fly into the unbounded, right? So again, we're being asked to unbound ourselves from the physical reality and realize that this is a bigger journey, a journey of, again, totality, right? We are being asked to be in receipt mode, to connect to all that is, and to look at things from a new vision, right? And then the last card, the outcome, we got friendliness, which in the regular tarot, this is the 2 of Cups. So the reason why we're on this divine love, twin flame, soulmate journey is because we were meant through this physical manifestation of unconditional love to deepen our roots, to expand our branches, to mend wounds that we have experienced in this life and in others, and connect to the world, see things from a different perspective, be receptive to ascension and to the downloads and to the upgrades, right? For that 2 of Cups. And in this deck, it's the 2 trees, like interwoven, and I love that. I actually meditate when I go running sometimes within 2 trees, and I really connect to that energy, right? So, and it also speaks of friendliness. You know, don't forget that you know, every relationship in our outer experience is a reflection of the inside, you know, and let's keep it friendly, let's keep it open, let's keep it free, you know, let's try to not put anything in a box, because this unconditional love journey and this journey of the twin flames is much greater than that, okay? So messages from our 5D. Wow, I feel the energy has definitely shifted, guys. These are positive cards. Look, I part the deck to shuffle, and it's, you know, the 6 of Cups, the dream, right? And this feminine needing to connect in the 5D to the truth of things, right? That's the truth. The truth is who you are in the 5D, that higher existence, that higher connection to all that is. And, you know, this is not just a journey for one couple. This is a journey for everyone as a collective. Just trust, okay? Getting that word a lot, trust. So let's move on here. So let's look at what's happening in the physical to kind of get us a little bit oriented, kind of compare us to real life circumstances, right? I like to do that for that reason. And so I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot for this. I'm guided a little bit to separate the masculine and feminine energies, but again, you may resonate with both, or it might be backwards for you depending on what your dynamic is. Look at that, the Fool and the Ace of Cups. So I resonate with both. I'm balanced within, balanced without. Wow, and then the 2 of Cups. Wow. So yeah, guys, I definitely feel a shift in the energy. You guys think that this is all bad, but it's really not. It's all serving a greater purpose. Even in my situation, even though it was abrupt and a little bit unexpected, although I was getting signs from the angels because they were getting really close to me, especially Archangel Raphael, that there was going to be some healing, and that might involve things in the 3D that I didn't want at the time. When I went back and I looked at the situation and how it happened, it really was divine intervention. It really was. You know, we needed to end certain cycles. You know, my masculine needed to go into his learning. He needed to go within. You know, and I'm detaching from outcome and everything again, as I've done before in the past, because that's the way it needs to be done. We need to let the divine do what's for the highest and greatest good of both the twins. But again, there's a greater purpose to this, and I don't want to put too much energy into my connection. I will say it as it resonates and as I feel the collective needs to hear. But just some words of advice to you guys. You know, protect your energy, protect your connection and your union energy as much as you can, because there are darker forces too that like to use these lower level energies in the purging times to kind of attach themselves and make things more difficult, you know, and try to set us back. So make sure you're clearing your energy, make sure you're clearing your spaces, make sure you're doing any forgiveness practices as to what happened in 3D, so you can let that go, so you can connect to them in the 5D, so you can go back to square one and start new. And I'm not saying that this is going to take as long as it did last time, but what I'm saying is you have to detach from time. Time is an illusion, okay? So some cards fell out here before I even started. So Queen of Cups, Judgment, and Death. Right. So this is going to be general, because I hadn't really asked whether if it was for divine masculine or feminine while I was shuffling. I was just shuffling. So Queen of Cups, you know, this is the feminine that holds the cup, right? Regardless of what's happening, it kind of looks like lightning here, right? In this deck, and kind of like stormy weather. You know, you may be feeling a little insecure at the moment, and you need to go back and, you know, so you're having some self-worth shadows I'm getting that you're going through. And bottom of the deck, 8 of Cups in reverse, and actually believe that's a full moon behind him, right? Which is why I like to use the Gilded Tarot whenever we're close to any moon energy. You know, look at this time of moving on and all those cups falling behind you as a time to reflect, right? Doesn't mean you need to move on from the journey. It just means you need to reflect on what has occurred and release whatever has occurred from your emotional body, right? And again, the Queen of Cups is all about the emotional body. And then we've got Judgment, you know, which is I'm going to tell you what I've channeled in my own journey, and what this card is meaning at the moment to me. Judgment is like the angels and the higher, like blowing their trumpet, right? Things being decided, things being judged from a higher perspective, right? If things in the 3D weren't looking the way they needed to look, and people were avoiding or entering toxic codependent behaviors, then, you know, the trumpets have been blown to end a cycle, okay? To end a cycle that was not beneficial to the journey and to the twins at this time, okay? You need to understand that the death of this old cycle is meant for your greater good. It's coming from the higher. Again, divine intervention, okay? And in this card, you know, you see the naked people below, right? And it's also about rebirth. You know, the rebirth through the death of old karmic cycles and old energy, right? As it relates to our emotions and this emotional connection, right? So thank you, Spirit, for those messages. We're going to now pull some cards for the masculine. So what is the masculine energy, going through at this time? I don't know if you saw that, guys, but just popped out. So one more card about where the masculine is at this time in this journey. Yeah. All right. So bottom of the deck, we got Knight of Cups, right? It's kind of like, I don't always read the Knight of Cups in this direction. Sometimes people take the Knight of Cups as an offer of the heart, a slow-moving offer. But the way that he is in this Gilded Tarot, he's kind of like in a hurry to go with his cup. So that can mean either two things. Either, depending who I'm channeling and what wave you're on and where you're at in your journey, this could be the masculine rushing towards you with his cup. Or this could be the masculine rushing away with his cup, right? And again, if this is triggering, guys, it's because there's something that needs to be healed, okay? And I'm going through this just like you are. And, you know, yesterday I spent time with friends, and I, you know, it's very much in that 3 of Cups energy. That's important for your vibration. So whatever's happening, just know that it's for your greater good. And I'm going to read the rest of these cards so you really understand why I read this as maybe the masculine charging ahead with his cup, you know. Also underneath was the Page of Swords, you know, some quick immature communication, maybe. Look, Six of Wands underneath, you know, that caused what's going on here. And but that's meant for the victory of the union in the long run, right? So in the situation card, we got the Star, and I'll tell you why this is so interesting. The Star is all about divine timing, and I was just speaking about this. So I love when the cards are really just reflecting what I've been channeling. So what's been going on in the connection as it relates to our masculine energies, but in totality, right? Situation is there is some healing occurring. There is divine timing at play, right? And we just need to understand what this is, right? I don't know why this looked like a sunflower to me, but it's not. It's actually from this, looks like a clock, but you know, which has to do with, again, divine timing, and emotions and healing the emotional body, right? And then the Tower, which is what I was saying, which is what happens in my own connection, all right? With the Tower and with the Five of Swords, there has been some conflicts in the physical reality. There is some wounding here. Again, we're talking about the masculine in this spread. So the masculine is here with his swords in his hand, raising his sword. You know, oh, he's won this battle. There's some hurt people in the back here. I take this as the feminine. He feels like he's won this battle. He's standing alone. He's standing strong, maybe in the physical, in his mind. There's been this conflict. Someone has been left hurt, whether you're the masculine or not, and someone has been left standing with all the swords in their hands, right? A victor in this, or so they think, right? In this situation, right? But reality is that this is a healing process. A divine timing has shifted this through this physical or mental battle, right? We are shifting. The masculine is shifting. He is healing. He is dealing with the wounds that he's caused. This isn't really a victory card so much as it is, yeah, a small victory, right? And a victory that caused change. Again, the 5 card with the Tower and the Star, right? There is a lesson to be learned with this battle. Yes, people were hurt. There's some forgiveness to be done here. There's some shifts, some divine intervention that is leading to healing, some much needed healing that needed to occur in the 3D, right? Because this is the 3D aspects of the connection. Now, I'm going to get the Mystic Moon card just to see how this relates a little bit more specifically to some of you here. So masculine, twin flame journey, you know, we're understanding that what has happened recently has been for a shift, divine intervention, for healing. You know, there's some wounding that has occurred recently within the connection, where someone feels a little bit defeated. Tell us a little bit more about what the masculine is, what is happening with the masculine in the, oh crap, 3D, sorry. Well, it went back in the deck, so clearly it wasn't meant to come out. Let's get 2 more cards here. Not feeling that. Well, I didn't even look at the card, but I like when they pop out. It makes me feel better. Like it's more aligned, right? So on the bottom of the deck for the masculine and specifying how this is transpiring in 3D, we got divine feminine. So, you know, he understands that this shift that has occurred with the divine feminine, that it is healing things that he may have left her wounded, as with the 5 of Swords. But that is a necessary shift. It's divine timing. You're both here. You're both healing. It's for you both in the long run, right? And to clarify, the Star came cycles with the full moon again, guys. So, you know, these moon cycles are really allowing us to heal, and they are divine timing. They're divinely orchestrated, the timing of them, right? It's cycles. We're gonna have ups, we're gonna have downs, guys, but it's a cycle, right? And then, oh look, and underneath the divine feminine card was the numbing card, which I really feel like this is the masculine. I mean, it looks like the masculine was numbing, and the shift was necessary to propel him into ascension faster, right? So on the Tower card, we got devotion. So it's a sudden shift in the connection. And what I'm getting from this card, more so than devotion, although the Tower moment and the shift in the 3D is causing you to doubt, maybe, or bringing up shadows and asking you, how devoted are you to this journey, right? How devoted are you to this journey, masculine and feminines, or to your feminine masculines? This shift is meant to teach you that, to teach you to look at the light again, to focus on the light, right? Because in the 3D, it has caused or will cause, for some of you watching this, my videos, you know, I'm always a little bit more ahead because I'm meant to lead, you know, the collective and others. But whether this has happened or not for you, this battle, this wounding, this battlefield, it came from a place of pride and ego, right? People wanting to control things, people stepping into their ego, looking at the material, looking at what's easier, again, the masculine numbing. And he needed to come back to that light, right? He needed to come back to his devotion to this journey and this feminine. And if that meant going into ego and saying, you know, hurting people in the process and saying, you know what, I need to stand alone. You know, I'm meant to be alone. That's the mental energy that he was. He was in that state of pride and ego towards his feminine. Just understand, guys, that, you know, this is part of the process. This is part of the cycles. You know, this is divinely aligned to get him to realign to his feminine, of course, but realign to his life purpose as well, right? So let me put these cards away here, and I'm going to touch on the feminine. A lot of messages here, guys. I feel like very clear messages, to be honest. So this is going to resonate with some and maybe not with others. And if it doesn't resonate now, oh wow, look, I part the cards on Wheel of Fortune. It may in the future. You know, things are moving forward. Again, these are cycles. Cycles of healing, cycles of purging, cycles, 10 of Pentacles, that are needed in order to get that 10 of Pentacles, that stability, that solid footing, you know. And again, time is an illusion. Whatever you're going through in the physical is just asking you to go within and to focus on your own power, feminines. And if that refocus card comes out for us when we're channeling here, then you know that I'm right on point with that. And again, I see that in my own journey, right? I'm going to shuffle these 3 times as well. We're going to use the same cards for the feminine. And then for the union energy, I'm going to use a different tarot deck because I love it so much, and it really does portray love. And it's the, I forgot what it's called, but you'll see it now. The artwork is beautiful. All right, so feminines, where are we at? Divine feminines, what are we dealing with in the 3D at the moment? How is this manifesting without? We've already looked at the Akash. We've looked at the 5T. We understand this is the greater purpose for ascension. We understand that we are going through some purging. Our masculines are going through some purging, some needed shifts, some changes. So what do we got here? It's 3 cards for the feminine. Oh, I'll take that one. Feminine. And the Magician card is coming out a lot for the feminine. Yes. Oh my goodness. Right. Perfect. So for the theme for the feminine, we got the Temperance card, right? This is a time, again, more divine timing, more healing, the need to temper your emotions, to connect to the higher. I don't know why this red planet in the background reminds me of Mars. She's also wearing a lot of orange. You know, Mars is the masculine energy. There is some temperance needed in regards to our masculine energy. And you know, you see the fire coming in one cup and the water in the other, water and fire. That is significant to me. I am a fire sign sun. He is a water rising, water moon, and water sun. So sun sign. So again, there is some temperance needed in regards to our masculine energy, in regards to our masculine in the physical, right? Some of these endings, some of this anger that's been caused through these shifts is meant to burn some lower level energies clean, right? But it's all meant. It's all meant. And a lot of people see the Temperance card as a union card. So as it relates to your union, right? This is all in relation to your union. And underneath the Queen of Wands, so much fire energy. And the Death card, guys, you saw me shuffle again. My goodness. So, you know, it's a time of manifestation, of burning the lower energies, of manifesting and ending this cycle of strife. Look at that. I freaking shuffled. Strife with the masculine that has caused some wounding to move us forward. Wheel of Fortune, out of this. This mental chatter. I gotta stop pulling, but it's just, there's so they're so in line, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, moving us forward, because we were very caught up in the mental, energy here in our heads, and looking at this from a dualistic perspective, right? Sorry about that. I had to fix the incense. It was like hanging there. So in the situation card, we got the Seven of Wands. And again, this is another card where it's like you see the knight, right? Or the page there. He's not on a horse, but I do get that fighter energy, right? And there are these, seven again is a very spiritual card. The wands are very spiritual elements, right? Or I don't know if element's the right word, but suit, right? And so he's there. The feminine is there. The situation is she's there. She's spiritually on guard, right? Ready to combat, or ready to address these spiritual battles or elements or contrasts that are coming up in the physical, and that's the situation, right? But we need to understand, and I'm being drawn to the fact that there's light on this pillar and dark on this one, and I've never looked at this card so in depthly like that in this deck. But again, it's nighttime. At night, you see the stars there. One of us has the light on and the other one's in the dark. And it's that duality, right? This is a spiritual battle. We need to keep our lights on, both of us, And so the masculine, well, this is the left, which would be the feminine. There's some light being shed on the masculine. He needs to find his light. And in this contrast, we are standing in our power and taking this. We need to take the spiritual approach to things if we so choose. Of course, you don't have to choose to be on this journey. You can opt out whenever you feel like it. You can manifest the soulmate. You can manifest whatever you want. But if you're on my channel, I'm pretty sure you're aligned with me on this, and you want this. You want to manifest this, and you understand that there is oneness is the key, right? And that there will be spiritual battles, and that is part of the journey, right? And then in the action card, we got the Magician, right? We're the alchemist here. We're the magician. We're the ones with all the elements here, balancing it so that we can manifest this higher knowing, this higher consciousness, this higher way of living, right? And then we got the Ace of Wands. So it's go where you are drawn, ladies. Go where you are drawn. And if that's your masculine, again, I'm being pulled to that orange planet, the Mars, and the hands look like masculine hands. If that is what lights your fire, connect to the higher. Connect to the 5D. You have the power to manifest whatever you want. You have the power to manifest and to align to a masculine that is awakened, to a masculine that is tempered, to a masculine that is for your highest and greatest good, to your masculine. So just understand that right now is the time to focus on your mission, focus on what lights your fire, release what the physical looks like,